I get tests every time I go into the office. So like,
Oh,
you know,
okay. Well, that's good.
it's
That's one good thing.
it'll be
Wow.
all right.
Is it the big up the nose all the thing?
Yeah. Yeah,
Is
I'm
that
actually really good at it. That's what the
he's
tech
like,
that did it
most
last
people
Wednesday.
freak out and are miserable.
Well,
You're
he was
just
like, you didn't even
yeah,
flinch. He's like, you're so steady with it. And I was like, all right, I don't understand the big deal. You're just shoving a thing up my nose. It's fine.
Shannon thought that they were poking out her brain when they did it to her.
That's what other people have at work. They were like, oh, it's my least favorite thing. They're like really hurt. And I was just like, all right. And she was like, wow, you did really well.
Guess there's.
I didn't get a
I gotta
lollipop
say it,
though.
nothing there to poke.
No, just an empty cavern. So go to town, lady. Go to town.
I hear whistling like there's wind in there.
Hey, watch it with Dan and Tony. Hey, watch it with Dan and Tony. It's like watching, yeah.
Welcome to Hate Watching with Dan and Tony. This is the special Sunday edition, which won't mean anything to you guys because normally we shoot on Saturday, but today we're doing it on Sunday for more excitement.
It will mean something to them when I can't remember anything that happened in the movie that I watched on Friday.
Yes. So if Tony's like, what happened? Who's
what
this?
movie? Shaquille O'Neal.
Tony's one of the few people in the world who continues to work for a living, as opposed to the rest of us that sit at home working on scripts for things that no one will ever see.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah, that's for sure. So we're ending our week of pain, our month of pain, by doing a movie that we thought was maybe a little less painful because those first three movies of pain were very painful. And so
fun.
I chose the movie Kazaam with Shaq, Superman, Big Daddy, Shaquille O'Neal, greatest of all time, skinniest of all time in this one. My God, you're just
he looked pretty good.
Yeah, he looked great. So Kazaam, Touchstone Picture, Interscope, hour 33. Of course, somehow I did not write down the year. 2005, maybe?
I don't know. You keep talking. I'll look it up.
Yeah, so he's like a co-producer on this film. It's a kids movie for the most part. You know, that's who they were selling to. And
1996.
I was only 9 years off.
Just a full decade.
Just 9 years off. So give us what's your general feeling? Since you don't remember what happened, what were your general feelings about Kazaam?
My overall general feeling was it's too bad there wasn't a Sinbad Genie movie because I think that one might have been good.
This movie is
my least favorite part of this movie. I was just
Shaq's your least favorite part of the movie.
My least favorite part. I couldn't get behind it, man. When he's doing like his rap lines,
so good.
Oh, are they?
So you didn't deal with he's. I won't say he's a terrible rapper, but he's an inconsistent rapper.
I think that's a great word for it. And then he's a terrible actor. So those two things combined, he does more eyebrows in one line than people do in their entire lifetimes.
This is what you say to Shaq. Shaq, in this next scene, you got to give us something. So he's like, got it. And so Shaq will go like this. All he does is open his mouth and it's
a big mouth, so it does. The first couple times I laughed because it's like it's just so big, but it's not an emotion. It's not anything. I don't know.
Now we also have to talk about the rhino in the room. The one thing that's other than Shaq that's hard to get past. This poor kid's tooth.
Oh, Snaggletooth.
This poor kid has one tooth that goes, and it's rough.
He definitely either lost it. I don't know. Listen, full disclosure, I don't really know when kids lose their teeth. I don't remember that, but I don't know if he's gone through that phase. But I'll tell you, when he grows up, that tooth is totally fine. It's totally fine. He's in Veronica Mars. He's great.
He was good in Veronica Mars.
Oh, yeah. Eli, great character. Love it.
Okay. So he moved on. He was in a bunch of stuff. He was in like Free Willy 2, and he had a...
Which I definitely don't remember. I don't remember there being a second Free Willy because it's confusing because I remember Willy being free at the first one. So how do you do a second Free Willy? Does he get unfree?
It's probably his kid.
Okay. Free Willy Jr. That's what it is. Got it.
Free Willy Jr. :2, the freeing of the junior freeing.
Junior free.
So we start with some John Williams-y type music, and then we're kind of creeping around this store, and then there's kind of a wrecking ball that's kind of not hitting anything.
It keeps showing it swinging the same like foot over and over for like
not
8
hitting
minutes.
Anything.
I don't understand. And Shaq is screaming.
He starts talking in like gibberish Arabic talk.
Right?
I mean, it's not like real Arabic. It's like weird. And I was really hoping that through the whole movie, instead of doing some Arabic, he just did that. Because there's a couple of super racist things that happen later on in the movie that are like so incredibly racist and painfully hilarious.
But so what I don't understand here, Dan, is he aware of his non-lamp surroundings?
Is he aware of his non-lamp
because
surroundings?
He screams,
I think so.
I don't understand the logistics of that, Dan, because then when he's in, what's inside? What is it like inside his lamp or his boom, like whatever he is? Is it a physical space? Or is he trapped in like a black ether that only observes the whole time? You know what I mean?
You're pulling a full Dan Goodsell.
Hey,
like trying to understand.
This is their fault because they made this a thing. And now I'm curious because why is he screaming? Why does he know that the lamp is falling? Does he feel that? Is he connected to the lamp? Or is he just aware? I don't know, man. I was out immediately because I didn't understand the rules of the lamp.
Seems like you remember this movie a little.
I think you're right. I think I do.
So basically what happens is this place is kind of getting wrecked, but not really. And the lamp is at a lamp store and it falls off and it breaks, even though we don't see it really break.
Yeah, you just assume.
Then whenever he gets dislodged from whatever his vessel is, he gets sucked into a new vessel. You know, so
as opposed to just being released, which I also don't understand.
So the new vessel of choice is a boombox. We don't really find that out now. We find that out later, and we sort of all have to piece this all together through the movie.
Right, because the whole intro to this movie doesn't make any sense. Like, why are they even showing... Just have him in a boombox the whole time. Like, I don't even care where he comes from. It doesn't make any sense.
Then we have the Hi Living in the City song, which was nice.
Sure.
We meet Max, our protagonist, and immediately he's like doing some stuff, and the bullies put the clamps on him, and he gives them this key, which he says will get them in the treasure room in 16th Avenue in New York City or something.
But how dumb are kids? What? There's no way a room like this exists. It's not a thing, guys.
Jesus, Tony, this is the fun aspect of being a child prankster.
But he's kind of a dick. Can we talk about that? This kid is an asshole.
Well, yeah, we're going to get to we're not going to do that yet because we got to get to the points where things happen and we try and understand what is going on.
Get into the movie. I'm sorry.
We find out that was just the key to the store closet, which he was supposed to go there for some reason. Why you would send this most mischievous kid that would steal everything out of the supply closet.
And he didn't come back with anything. But all the teacher asks is, where's the key? Where's the thing he was supposed to retrieve? I don't understand.
Maybe the bully stole that too. You know, who knows? So then he BMXs home, total multicultural area. Mom says something about being robbed. That I didn't understand.
I didn't. Yeah. I don't know, man. It didn't make any sense. And also what didn't make sense is at this point, the kid is wearing a fishing vest just around town. I just want to bring that up because I was very confused. Who does the kid dress himself? Because I wasn't allowed to do that. I wish I was. I would have worn cool things. But a fishing vest? The 90s were weird.
You weren't allowed to wear what you wanted? Someone dressed you? Because you had like a dresser every morning? They'd lay out your clothes for you?
Dan, I believe that my wife would allow me to hire someone to pick out my outfits now because this is how I dress. I just wear stupid t-shirts and gym shorts. I'm hardly human.
We're going to, like, you never, like, if you went to the store as a kid, you didn't pick out your shoes? Like, your mom picked out your shoes or something?
It was one of those things where they would pick out, her and my sister would pick out 2 or 3 pairs and be like, now, which ones do you like? These ones in my left hand or the ones in my right hand? These ones, maybe. And then that's what I would pick because that's what it was.
Your sister would pick out your clothes?
She's a great dresser, Dan. Great dresser. She's very sharp. She still does. Like for Christmas, that's what she gets us. Our new shirts and new clothes because it's like what you wear now doesn't look good. Try this one. And it's, I mean, you know, the first time it happens, you're like, oh, this is great. And then years later, you're kind of like, I get it. You don't like the way I dress and you want to change me. But it's not going to happen. Those clothes aren't comfortable. I like baggy, lightweight, and I got to move. And Zubas, if you remember those were huge with me.
What are Zubas?
They're like tiger print sweatpants.
Yeah, you were a Zuba boy. I can
imagine. Fuck, dude, that. Those were so cool.
Oh my god, I can only imagine how embarrassing you looked walking around in those.
You mean super dope? Super fly? That's how I felt.
So now we get Max disrespecting his mom with what's probably one of Tony's favorite lines of the movie.
Oh, no. This I don't remember. I think I was...
Who put a squirrel in your shorts?
Oh, no, yeah, that's right. Put a squirrel in your shorts. Great stuff. But again, the kid's not very nice to his mother. And
disrespectful.
She's nothing but like super nice and patient with him. And it kind of bums me out.
I had this one friend in high school. And we went over his house one time, and he was completely disrespectful of his mother. Like, in a really casual, weird way. And I was just like, it was so embarrassing for me. And I was just like, not that my parents were like, you must be respectful. Not at all. But it was just watch him to be casually disrespectful of his mom for no reason. It was like really weird. That at all.
Ugh. I don't think I'd feel comfortable in that house.
No,
you're always like kind of on your toes and yeah.
So I wrote Buster Keaton VHS. I guess they did a Buster Keaton VHS joke. I don't remember.
Probably. I bet it landed really well.
Yeah, it kicked ass. And so then we meet that the mom has a new boyfriend who's a fire department dude, and of course it's your classic
firefighter. How cool is that? This kid is such an idiot. I don't understand. Oh, I don't like you. He's like a superhero. He fights fires, kid.
I want my real dad who's probably dead or I don't know. and through this whole movie, we sort of find out that the dad is gone, but the kid thinks he's gone or dead or doesn't ever. And then they're getting a divorce. We're like, you'd think he'd have like some really set, my dad is dead or my dad abandoned us it's really amorphous.
But it's just like it's a mysterious thing. It's just like, oh, he's not around anymore. And it's like, Mom, what does that mean? She's like, I don't know. And that's it.
So he goes out and he does some rage biking because of how enraged he is about the boyfriend.
Which
rage
is pretty
biking.
Cool.
And then thousands of bullies chase him and they chase him into the Kazaam building, then he falls through 4 floors
and is dead.
They had some newspaper out there, so he's gonna not die. And he kept hitting boards,
Dan,
so he wouldn't die.
Talk to me about this newspaper because there are 2 instances where he falls from top heights and he lands on piles of newspaper. 2 questions, Dan. 1, I don't remember newspaper being all that soft. So I don't understand how this is breaking his fall. It's very thin paper. And number two, where is all this newspaper coming from?
Oh, there was a lot of newspaper back in the 90s.
There's a lot of newspaper. That's the answer. There's newspapers everywhere. I don't know.
I was watching some other movie that was like that shot like real stuff, that was like not a movie, but like a documentary. And the filth on the New York City streets, it was just filthy.
Really?
And if you would go into a building like that, it wouldn't just be like empty. There would just be piles of filth and newspapers and stuff that collected up, because hobos would read their newspapers and then just toss them into the basement.
I guess I've got egg on my face, Dan.
Hobo thing. We don't see what newspapers are now, but back then in New York City, there probably were 5 or 6 dailies that people would read all of them. And,
like the Daily Bugle.
Just like the Daily Bugle, J. Jonah Jameson, editor.
All right.
So he falls and he touches the magic boombox. He doesn't really even sort of interact with it. Just somehow he sort of magically.
Yeah, again, the rules are very loose for this whole Kazaam creature. And at the end, the rules don't matter. It's all very confusing to me.
So then Shaq has his first big Kazaam appearance and does this really weird rap. It's just like really weird.
They're all really weird because they're not. He's like talking them, but kind of rapping, and they kind of rhyme and kind of make sense, but none of them are like yes to any of those things. Does it make sense? Not really, but kind of enough.
And they don't really work towards storytelling the point at which we are in the story.
Not at all.
I am Kazaam, the biggest of the man, and just he could have done a whole thing where he talks about all of his exploits, what he does, how powerful he is, etc.
Yeah.
But instead, these things are just like they kind of asked Shaq for some of his raps that he'd written before, and then just were like, okay, we'll just sort of work this one in.
Shoehorned them in.
So he scares off the bullies. And then he's like, okay, you get 3 wishes. And the kid's like really in denial of the wish idea.
Yeah, he's like, nah, that doesn't make no sense. I'm out of here.
Like in every other movie, you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to ask you for my first wish immediately. And then if it fails or succeeds, it's really going to be based on the trajectory of the movie.
Absolutely. Or you pull one over the genie's eyes and trick him into making you a wish, a la Aladdin, the best genie movie of all time.
I saw it once.
What?
I saw it once, I think.
Oh, Dan. Movie's so good.
The kid wishes for a Jaguar XKE, and then Kazaam does his things, and then he zaps himself and he disappears.
Performance issues. This is one of my favorite jokes of the movie because it's so deep.
He says performance issues.
He's got performance issues. 40% of men. That's what I read. I researched it. So don't feel bad, Shaq. You're doing fine.
Well, it's good to be in the majority over here.
Whoa, Dan. Woo, woo.
So then he takes off, and then the bullies catch him, and then we cut. Now, Tony, did you ever get caught by the bullies? You were one of the bullies, though. What would you do when you caught the kids
I was not a bully as a kid. Well, that's a story for another day. You have to you ingratiate yourself into the bullies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you never fully become you ride that fence. Anyhow, I never got in a fight. So I would say no.
I got punched in the face one time.
How did that go? Do you remember it?
I was really annoying this other kid who was really obnoxious, and then he punched me in the face, and then I laughed at him.
So you were annoying somebody who you found annoying.
I think
Is that what you're saying?
I think that was
you're like, you're really annoying, so I'm going to twist your buttons, which sounds very Dan Goodsell. Like that is key Dan Goodsell right there.
I know.
And then he hits you in the face.
Hits me in the
and
face.
you laugh at him?
It didn't really hurt, so I like laughed at him. And then I think
But it's the intent behind it, Dan. You've upset him to the point where he felt he needed to strike you down, and then you just laugh in his poor face. I mean, he remembers that to this day, for sure.
So.
That is a big moment of his life.
Or he's dead. So.
Oh, this poor kid. It does. You know what? It does happen.
So Max gets home and they gave him a beating and they're like, oh, and he's like, leave me alone. And then he goes into his room and then the fiance is like, oh, let me go talk to him. And the fiance goes in there and then he makes a neutron bomb joke.
Oh, I don't even know if I got that.
He's like, what's this? A neutron bomb? Because he has this widget or something that he's built on the table, which we're going to get to that. That's one of our very next topics.
Oh, great. What a treat.
And he's working. So kid's working on his bike, going full, like tightening spokes and everything. And then the fiance is like, let's be friends and we can talk anytime. It's like that standard speech. We should just write all those standard speeches and then just have a movie that's all it is the standard speeches.
I have to imagine that movie does exist somewhere. We'll find it.
And then he goes and he lays in his taxi bed and looks up at his faux night sky that he has built in his
Which
ceiling.
is all pretty cool. Like, and it's awesome.
The implication is he has built all this himself.
Yeah, because then when he goes to a secret hideout, you get the same idea that he's like built this super dope like kid hideout that nobody seems to have. I don't know. It's amazing though.
We're getting close to that because that's your favorite part. So
yes, that is correct.
Next morning, Sunny D for breakfast. Then we see the divorce papers, and he finds out his dad exists, and he gets his dad's info, so he knows where his dad is. And now,
which is so what confused me a little bit is that's the fiance's like, you didn't tell him, right? Isn't that what happens?
I think so, yeah.
But if the kid doesn't know his dad exists for sure, which seems to be the case, why would she need to tell him she's getting a divorce from a possibly dead man? Like, isn't it just kind of a moot point at that? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she could have just done all that divorce and put those papers in a bureau.
Without ever even telling him. Because
that would have been,
I don't know.
That would have been the
weird.
Prudent parenting thing to do if you want to continue to lie to your child.
Yeah, which everybody does, right? That's like rule number one as a parent. Lie, lie, lie.
So so Shaq's stalking him on the street. Shaq has a nice humorous line, hold your camels. Like he's running away, like camels.
Yeah.
Camels. And then the kid, this is when he sees his dad, right? Yeah, I think so. So he sneaks into the club. And sees his dad, and then the dad's kind of a dick. And then Shaq and him kind of have a little moment.
Do they?
I mean, little. That's the implication, is that they have a moment. So then the kid sneaks away and sneaks into this abandoned building where he has a secret lair. Talk about the secret lair, Tony.
It's got everything you could ever want. It's the coolest place in the world. There's two places that I feel like are on this level. This movie has a great hideout, and then the Turtles hideout in the subway, if you remember that. Those are the two places that you just want to be as a kid. You're like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I gotta go to New York. I gotta get underground, and I gotta live in a cool fort. Like, it's amazing. But where does he get all this stuff?
It really felt like it felt more like Shredder's lair in the first Turtles movie, right?
Oh, sure.
Isn't that kind of how Shredder's lair was, where everyone hung out there and partied and skateboarded?
Because it's the kids. Yeah, the kids are the Foot Clan, which was a real twist on the road. But like as a kid, you're like, oh shit, they're real people. Anyhow, but because they would play games and the skate park. Yeah, you're right. It is better.
And this giant building that he has all to himself, no hobos living there, no hobo fires, nothing. How does he lock
it off?
he's built like these metal ramps to BMX around on, and there's this giant chair with lights that work.
Yeah. Super cool. And there seems to be like some sort of equipment. Like, I don't know where he got this stuff. Does he steal it? Did he find, did somebody else build this cool park and then die and then he just found it? I want to know. I need to know more.
He got it from the supply closet.
That's, every time he goes to the supply closet, it takes one piece of equipment. It took years to build.
Ooh, skate ramp. Big metal skate. So then Kazaam shows up, and he, to have like this giant black man just appear and stalk you, he's incredibly nonchalant about this.
But it would be terrifying.
It would be terrifying. And so then they have the big BMX race.
Is it the big one?
So they race around
either.
and Shaq's behind, the kid's kicking his ass, and then Shaq's BMX just starts magically transforming, and then they're neck and neck, and then Kazaam just flies ahead across the finish line. With
sparklers.
What?
With sparklers.
With sparklers. And he like flies around, and this is the point at which this kid's like, huh.
You are a genie.
Different about you. And Shaq does another one of his whole big weird raps, which...
Yeah, I think this one might be weirder than the last one too. I don't totally remember it, but
there's three of them, 3 in total. Then there's the sandbox one. I think is the third big weird one with the kid. That's also very strange. Now we get to my
all strange
favorite part of the thing. Now, does the kid use a wish for this to have junk food up to the ceiling?
Yeah, I don't remember what the wish is exactly, but he's definitely
junk food from here to the ceiling. That's the wish.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yes. He definitely uses one wish.
But I think this counts as
the Jaguar
his first
doesn't
wish.
count. Yeah.
Yeah, Jaguar didn't count because it didn't work. So this was my favorite scene of the whole movie, is the junk food rain scene. Because
when, again, they'd probably be dead? Because they're getting pelted by hard candy from the sky?
Yeah, you wouldn't be killed by hard candy.
Are you kidding me, Dan? How far are they falling? No. Where's the rain cloud of candy? How far up is it? I don't know.
Tony, it's just a candy bar. If you drop it, okay. What the whole thing where if you throw a penny off? Nah, actually, you don't want to throw a penny off Empire State.
Are you killing people off the Empire State Building right now, Dan?
Yeah, I think that is actually bad, isn't it? It does reach terminal velocity, and that's like not.
I would imagine it does. I don't know. I've never tried it.
I don't know. We'll have to look that up. But research. Put that on.
Gravity.
So it starts with like actual burgers hitting the ground, going and burritos.
Yeah, which is gross.
And then more, and then more, and then pancakes, and then giant stacks of pancakes, and then at the end, it's just there's candy. I mean, actually,
everywhere.
This would just ruin his thing because all these burgers. Well, I guess it would detract about 1 million rats because the rats
and ants. There's so many ants. Ugh, this place is a mess. You're never coming back. It's infested.
So, but you know, real candy bars, and there's like he sits up on this and all these candy bars. They spent a bunch of money on candy bars, and it was really cool. I like that. Then we established something which was really one of the few rule things we established that's really nice, even though of course we break it later, but that's beside the point.
Is it besides the point? It feels like the point, but continue.
He can't do ethereal, so he can't make someone love you. He can't, well, ostensibly bring back the dead or change the future.
Are we sure?
Well, I mean, that's what he says. That's what he says.
He says it a bunch of times throughout the movie and then just is like, you know what? Fuck it. I can do that.
So now the kid says to Shaq, I own you. And Shaq's pants fall down.
Which is not how genies work. Like, you get 3 wishes. That's it. You don't get wishes in the middle. Like, he doesn't serve you other than those 3 wishes. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
It's not like you can walk around. Lamp.
But it's not like you can just like make him do other things. You can only make him do the wishes, right? Those are the rules.
I don't know,
man. I don't know.
So we set up we go back to the dad. Debrat is there, and now he finds out that the kid is his son, and he accepts him.
In a weird, like, he's excited.
Yeah, he's
hey,
like,
everybody,
thrilled.
meet my kid. This is my boy. Blah 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 blah. Come on in. We'll get some pizza. I was like, what? What is happening? Where's the tension?
And Shaq shows up with pizza.
Right? Because I guess they didn't actually order pizza. So that it confused. Did Shaq kill the pizza man and steal his pizza to bring it? Did they not order pizza? Did the real pizza man arrive later and he's like, oh shit, everyone's already got pizza. I guess I got the wrong place.
Man, you're so pulling the Dan. I thought you were gonna like be just like cruising with this movie, and he's like, then Shaq shows up with pizza, and it's really cool, and everybody's happy. But you're like, where does pizza come from? I'm Dan Goodsell. Here's the
problem.
I don't see. There should be rules in a movie. Like, what happened to you,
Tony? There should be rules in a movie, but I think the problem is
I'm okay with
so
Pirate
mad
Town
at Shaq.
What? You're mad at Shaq?
I know. See, that's the thing. You have to get past that part of my brain. That's when you know the movie's good. If you can tap into my imagination, I'm on board with almost anything. But immediately in this movie, I'm shut down. I'm shut down from the screaming in a bottle because that doesn't make any sense. And then Shaq is talking in raps.
So Max goes back home. He gets the classic chore speech, another classic speech, and then he says, "I've seen my father,"
which would be a bit of a shock if you had spent most of his life telling him that he's not around. But it turns out he's just blocks away, like he's within biking distance your entire life,
like easy biking distance, not
right? Like you're not even gonna sweat.
It's like casual biking. Same school district.
Yeah, that's not good. Not a good lie.
So Max is laying in bed, and Kazaam appears in the stars, and he's starting to think about what he wants to do with his life. And we get the joke, maybe I'll even be a personal assistant. Is Kazaam going through a
midlife crisis in this movie?
A little bit.
Okay.
And if we're going to really go to Tony's point of there are no rules, how does Kazaam just every scene have different clothes?
Who knows? Who knows?
He does.
And why is he allowed to do his own things?
He does so much personal magic for himself or to further a scene.
Yeah, but which is confusing because just a little bit ago the kid was like, "I own you," but now it's like not even a little bit. I can do whatever I want to. I don't know, Dan. I get confused.
I love how this is actually my pick to torture you, and it really worked to torture you. It was really unintentional. I was like, here, let's pick a Tony-type movie that's just fun and stupid and has some joke lines and some family caring stuff. No, don't. Tony's like, Shaq, I hate it.
I'm anti-Shaq right now, and that's that's sad to me.
So now it's concert night at the club, and Shaq's doing a rap, and sparks are shooting out of the boombox, and the sparks are turning into gems, and this is where
only one person notices that this is weird. Like, there's only one guy that's like, there's something about that boombox.
But more importantly, not even that, more importantly, he's a swarthy Middle Eastern type named Malik. He instantaneously puts it together by looking at just one of these random diamonds that is shot out of this thing that Shaq is a genie. He's just got it.
I know exactly what's going on here.
No questions or it's just like, I know the situation. Boom, done. And he doesn't even really spell it out either. We just know he knows that he's a genie. Yep. And so we know that he's going to be acting the rest of the movie to try to take control over Kazaam. Yeah.
No, I mean, he's very smart. Very smart.
And I'd call that some really good, subtle writing. Oh, jeez.
He's great, by the way. I love that guy. I can't remember his name, but he's in he does like a very small role in Entourage, and he's in How I Met Your Mother as like the cab driver. He does some cool things.
So there's a big fight about a recording, and there's a quote, "There is no you and I," and someone kicks someone out. Oh, he throws Max out.
Yeah. Because like he's doing his dirty deeds. You know, he can't have his son seeing that, so he's like, "Get out of here! I'm doing bad things."
So now,
Dan, can you explain to me what the crux of this movie is in this instance? Like, I don't understand what the tape is. A bootleg, and they're going to sell it for $1 million.
No, it's not. The tape ostensibly is like The Brat, and it's just her new album. And why this one tape is worth $1 million?
I just don't. I didn't understand. Yeah, okay. I couldn't figure it out.
This movie needed its MacGuffin or whatever, its thingamajigger, and they chose to make it this random tape. Which, the thing I don't understand is they were moving the whole big cart. Well, we'll get to this. This is happening. So then the bullies are in the line, and Max is like, "I'll get you in." Shaq is hanging out with the people.
No, he doesn't say, "I'll get you in." He tells them about the tape.
Oh, does he tell them about the tape? I guess I missed that. Yeah,
he straight up is like, "Hey, guys, I got a tape that we could go that's worth $1 million." And I was like, this is a bad kid.
Wait, okay, I guess I missed this. How did I miss this?
I don't know, because it's a pretty big character moment for my boy Max.
I was playing Magic a little bit while I was watching the movie, so I might have missed that line.
I was playing a little Magic.
Okay, we skip right there. So limo party. Okay. So we haven't stolen it yet, have we? No. So that's set up that there's this case and a tape. Now the Middle Eastern guy Malik has gotten Shaq into the limo. He's giving him booze. They're having a party. Shaq's doing the mirror. Clicks on the mirror. Does his Shaq face in there?
Stupid face.
Tony loved that. And now we get to other. What?
No. Say it. What's your other favorite part? It might be the same thing.
He gets offered Nubian goat eyes.
What? What, Dan? What is happening? Explain this to me.
I do believe the domesticated goat is pretty much a straightforward thing, so I don't think you really have a Nubian goat, but and then Shaq starts eating them, right? No, those are eyes. Those are like pickled eyes, supposedly.
Uh-huh.
And then they have the scene where Malik eats them. And it's the most one of the most subtly racist things I've ever seen. Because they're just like, they make him eat them like this. They just make him as disgusting as possible with a disgusting thing to make us go like, anyone of Arabic descent is a horrible person. You're just like, what? I mean, I understand he's the villain, but do you really have to just make him this grotesque character?
Yeah, and he is. He definitely is. And he just has those on hand, though?
Well, they're part of his test, because he knew he was going to have to test to see if Shaq was the genie. Because no normal person would eat Nubian.
I mean, I understand that. I just don't understand. Where do you get Nubian goat eyes, in the 90s?
The African market.
In New York? Is that a thing?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I could 10 minutes away from my house here. We can go to Ethiopian. I think might be a grocery store. There's certainly a couple Ethiopian restaurants.
Okay.
I mean, not that they'll have Nubian goat eyes, but yeah,
sure.
I'm sure.
Not fresh, anyways.
Any big city is going to have ethnically diverse grocery stores. Absolutely.
I guess maybe I don't understand how much of a delicacy they are. You know what I mean? Maybe that's on me.
I mean, it's just like in stupid Indiana Jones where they bring around the monkey brains for everybody to eat. It's just...
Yeah. And for whatever reason, totally on board in that movie.
You weren't on board in that movie. No, you weren't.
Which one is that?
That's Temple of Doom.
I don't even remember. They all blend together. let me just say that I'm one of those people that thinks that Crystal Skull is just as good as the other ones, because I think they're all pretty mediocre movies.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going there as like, that's a good one. And I'm like, oh, we are going to Crystal Skull.
It's not good, but it's
movie.
just as bad. I think that the other ones are just as bad in their own ways, except for Sean Connery.
You don't like
He's
Raiders
great.
of the Ark? Raiders of the Lost Ark?
It's fine. It's fine. I think it's kind of boring. The idea of Indiana Jones, very cool. So cool. But Spielberg has this way of making like cool things very boring for a long time, and then just doing like cool things every once in a while. That's, I don't know. Anyway.
Wow, you hate Star Wars and you hate Raiders. Wow, you are
okay. You're putting
monster.
Hate in. I think they're
You're
mediocre. Maybe I am.
Mediocre.
Maybe I am.
Two of the greatest movies of all time. It's not for me.
Special effects wise, both great. How about that? Does that help? No.
You don't go to Raiders of the Lost Ark for special effects. You go for
which one's
Jones.
the one with the ball? The boulder.
The first one, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, so there you go. That's a great special effect.
But you hate that movie.
I don't hate the movie. I just don't think that it's all that everyone thinks it's cracked up to be.
So the kids sneak into the back of the club, and isn't the one guy pushing a gigantic cart full of the 6 cases? I don't understand what that cart was.
I don't understand what the cart is either.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think it's just like it was there on set and they were like, just push that around.
Because it sure seemed like the importance of the $1 million tape in the case was the same as this random garbage that was on top of this other thing. I actually thought the case was like just one of the things that was on the thing that was on the cart. It looked, because it was all silver and sort of.
Is it not
boxy? I don't know. But somehow in this case is the $1 million items. They're having the world's dumbest, schlubbiest guy. The one, there's like this other dumb dude that he's carrying it around for some unknowable reason. Not the 700-pound security guard who can, break your neck by thinking at you.
Right. Who you would never steal it from in a million years.
He'd just be like, you're going to take this case? You're going to die.
I'm going to wait until you put it down, sir, and then I'll try to steal it.
So they steal it and take off. And excuse me if I'm wrong, do they ever come back in with the tape? And does that ever become another plot point? I mean, he has to make a new tape, because Kazam makes a new tape at one point, but...
Is that what he does? I just thought he magically transported the tape back to them. Dan, I don't know.
Like I say, I was playing Magic during...
Because here's the thing, if he just makes a new tape, then that other tape is still out there, which has to diminish the returns of this one tape, right?
I don't know. And more importantly, it's like a cassette tape, which
classic.
There's nothing going to be on a cassette tape ever in a million years.
The quality would be so poor that no one would pay $1 million to listen to that shit.
We're getting there. Oh shit, we're not getting there.
Not really. We got a lot to go.
So Max goes home. Mom is sleeping on the couch, worried. He just bypasses her. Like, let her worry.
Yeah. He doesn't care at all about her. There's no love. There's no love in his heart, Dan.
He is crap. So he wakes up. Shaq's in his bed. He throws a baseball at Shaq's face. Shaq does prop comedy with random stuff around the room, which I kind of like because it was just so weird.
It was weird, but not funny.
It wasn't funny.
I feel like it should be funny, but it's just like you just watch it and you're like, what is Shaq doing? Who told him to do
mask, this? Does something.
He does like the King Kong scene with the airplane model, and he's like, I don't know, man.
They were just weird. Like, we got all this weird shit. Shaq, do 45 minutes of bits.
45 minutes. We'll cut it down to about 30 seconds.
We'll cut it down to 30. Okay, where were we? So Max gets the line, "You smell like hippopotamus butt,"
which I wrote down because I did laugh.
We laugh. I know Tony's laughs.
That's funny because they're like, normally you'll just say like, you smell like butt, but they're like, what's a weird animal that nobody would ever really smell their butt? A hippopotamus, because they'll kill you. And that's funny. I liked it. I thought it was great. I did not like what came next.
The magic shower.
The magic shower, Dan. Shaq is a grown man, 5,000 years old. He knows that he should not be showering in front of a child, right? I mean, it is weird. There's two moments that I really did not like in this movie. It's the shower, and then when they wake up in bed together and Shaq is spooning the kid. I'm not okay with either of those scenes. I think those need to be removed from the digital prints and re-released.
My child is not watching this movie. So he goes out there, and the mom immediately like gives him juice, gives him a hug, like he's like, "I love you." He's just like,
it's great. She's so nice.
He's like a little shit, and she's just like,
yeah.
It's definitely what's that called? Codependent relationship, where he treats her like shit, and she just gives him love back. And then
ridiculous.
Shaq shows up in their apartment as a tutor dressed nicely.
Now, Dan, is he supposed to be? Is he trying to do a character here?
Yes.
Okay. Here's the thing. When he was being this like nerdy tutor guy, I was like, there's no way that the mom is buying this, because he can't even say some of the words that he's saying. Like when he says them, you're like, you don't know what that means. I can tell by the way that you pronounce that word. You don't know what it is. She's dumb. And she's like in love with him, I think, in this scene. Doesn't she fawn over him a little bit?
I mean, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know anything anymore.
Then we have the French toast airplanes. That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a fun little gag. Whatever.
So then we get... Shaq's got a new outfit, does a Pompeii joke, stealing okay. His big show is tonight because Shaq's got a big show coming.
Because it's all about Shaq. Because Shaq is making himself famous instead of being a genie.
Yeah, instead of writing a movie about being a genie, Shaq also has to shoehorn in a giant subplot where he becomes a giant rapper.
Right? Like, come on, guys. It's Bush League.
And then we get the big Max and Shaq duo rap song at the Sandbox.
Now, Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, but the kid raps circles around Shaq in this scene.
His first couple lines are slow, but yeah, he kind of is a better rapper.
He picks it up, and it's like, okay, this kid's. If this was Will Smith as Kazaam,
it would have been really good.
It would have been amazing. And like this scene would have been like so cool because they can both like the kid could hold his, I don't know, man. The whole time I was like, I wish that this was Will.
If this
he was obviously too young or something. I don't know.
If Will Smith had done this, it would have been a little black kid who could like dance really well.
Yeah, man. That's a movie.
Amazing movie. You know,
and it would be like a childhood fond memory, and we'd be doing this show very differently.
It would be. And it's tough to be a genie, so it's tough to be a genie. And he wants to be free or to find love or da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah.
So we're back at the school. The bullies have the tape. They want to blackmail the dad, and Max is, put in the middle. Then we have this really cool scene.
He kind of put himself in the middle.
He kind of did. Here's the thing you could steal from my dad, and then we can use it against my dad.
Right.
I don't want to do it.
Like, wait, I don't want to do that. What? What are you talking about, kid?
We have this scene, and then the bullies leave, and then we have the scene on the stairways where Max is in the foreground, and there's this blurry kid up atop, and we hold on the scene just for a little too long, and we're like, realize that blurry kid is actually part of the scene and not somebody just in the background. Right. And then we do a rack pull, and the kid gets unblurry, and he's like, "Are you okay, Max?" And I don't know if Max says something, but it was like this such an awkward thing to do to an audience. Like, just like 2 seconds waiting for this rack pull to happen, and everyone's just like...
Just have the kid walk up. Like, who cares where he was? Like, why is he standing creepily just watching the whole time? Just have him walk up and be like, oh, hey, I'm your friend. Are you okay? Totally fine. Totally fine scene.
Then now Shaq's on a date with the girl, and
is her name Asia?
I believe her name. Well, I believe they introduced someone named Asia earlier, and I think that was her.
I think that's her because he was like, Asia's gonna love me, and when he said that,
you thought
I was like, wait, the country? Is he only being released in Asia? I didn't put it together till later.
Her name is Asia Moon, and they don't do a really good job of establishing her name in our collective mind banks because she gets introduced during the Debrat thing, and we're not really sure who she is. You're like, is she a singer? Is she what?
I still don't know.
Yeah, because there was another band. The other band that was playing when Shaq came out with the Shooting Boombox was another real band.
Also, let's hold on. I know that we skated past this, but can we talk about that boombox moment for just 1 second?
It looks terrible
because the band on the stage basically invite Shaq just from seeing him in the audience to join them in a rap. Is that a thing that could ever happen?
Well, they don't just invite him; they cede the floor to him.
Yeah, it's so weird.
They notice someone in the audience and are like, we should allow him to sing now because we are assuming that he's going to be able to be heard by this entire club without a microphone. Unlikely.
It was so weird. It's such a weird scene. Weird. I forgot. Sorry. We can go back to the present now.
Yeah. So now I think what is happening? Pushed in. Okay, so I guess this is the part where he's like ready for his second wish and he gets the tape back.
Okay. So this is after the dad, he goes back and talks to his dad, and his dad's like, get out of the car.
I don't know.
Because I think because he gets the tape after they have that conversation, right? Maybe you're, I don't know. Either way, I just want to talk about real quickly. At one point, his dad tries to impart a lesson to Max and says, in life, you don't get second chances.
That's later. Okay. So
we'll get there then.
Shaq is on a date. The kid tracks him down, and the kid says, I wish I had tape. I wish I had tape.
Oh, right.
It's just really weird. And so let's go. He goes to the studio, and Shaq wants to make it for him, and then he forces him to do the magic to get the tape, and he gets the tape.
Or something.
And then we have another scene where Malik, the Middle Eastern guy, is eating in an animalistic way, and there was a pituitary gland joke just to make it weird.
It's real classic stuff.
And now we have Dad in the thing where he gives him the no second chances speech, and Max gives him the tape back.
Great. Yeah. So let's talk about that for a second, because what a ridiculous, terrible lesson to impart to a kid. You don't get any second chances. If you mess up, just throw your life away, just like I did. Just if you make one mistake, just go down a life of crime, because you can never find your way back no matter what. What a ridiculous thing to say. And then guess what? In about 10 minutes, he gets a second chance, or ostensibly like a fifth chance, I would assume, because he's been doing this a long time. But I hated it. I hated this scene. Fuck that guy. He's a bad dad. Get him out of there.
So for his third wish, so for his third wish, he wants to get his dad a second chance. He wants to give his dad a second chance. Now, did Shaq just shut down that wish, or did he just sort of like?
He seemed to shut it down because it's kind of ethereal again.
Absolutely is ethereal.
And there, at one point, we missed this, I think, but Shaq offers up an ethereal wish, and the kid says no. I don't remember what it was, but I was like, nope, he's breaking his own rule. I don't think the ethereal rule is a rule, is what I'm saying.
And it didn't seem like Kazaam gave him the wish exactly, right? He didn't.
No, not he. He tells him at the end that, like, oh, I did it, but in a roundabout way. In a way that he was not directly involved in whatsoever, but he's like, you know what? I should take credit because this is kind of the wish you made 20 minutes ago.
So then there's this really long fight with Malik trying to get the box, and Shaq is downstairs rapping at the same time.
Yeah, because he doesn't give a shit about this kid at all. He only cares about his rap career. And even though the kid is constantly calling him, he's like, this gnat won't go away. I'm performing, kid.
It's all about me, finally. And so then
nice, Dan.
They just push the kid down the elevator shaft.
And what happens, Dan?
Well, this time he's probably has the wind knocked out of him.
He lands on newspapers at the bottom of the shaft. Did you not notice that?
I think it kills him.
I think it does too, and that's why I'm confused. Why didn't it kill him the first time?
But it's so weird, not so weird, but it's just handled so weakly that we don't really... Clumsily. Perfect word. I was looking for that word. Thanks, Tony. Jesus. I'm going to show
I'm a thesaurus.
You're a what?
A thesaurus.
Okay. There's no T on, not a thesaurus.
The thorist.
So then Shaq finally decides to show up, and Shaq foos everybody to death.
But he doesn't use magic powers, Stan. He's in a fist fight. He's a genie. And then at the end of the fight, after he beats up all these other guys, he turns Malik into a basketball. Like then he uses magic.
But not a basketball. A really big, weird ball with his face on the outside.
It's very bouncy. And it's very bouncy, which doesn't make any sense.
And then he dunks him into like a trash chute. How are we going to get Shaq's basketball skills into the movie? At the end, 100%. He'll turn the villain into a ball and then dunk him.
Classic. Great stuff.
Ostensibly, there was fire at the bottom of that shaft, so he sent that guy to his death.
There you go. Perfect.
And now the building is on fire. How did the building catch on fire?
I don't know, but it happened very quickly. Like it just shot up in flames all of a sudden. Everyone's in real danger.
So, building's on fire. Mom is somehow outside losing her mind. Yeah. Max is dead. And then,
which makes me think that the building's been on fire for at least 20 minutes somehow.
Could be.
Because I don't know. She had to hail a cab, take the cab.
Really nice scene where there's all this smoke blowing and Kazaam is walking through it. And I wrote Kazaam's a long winter for Kazaam. And it's kind of like, he seemed very distraught. That was a good little. I like that shot. Like the 6 things in this movie, I like this one shot.
Sure, the shot's great.
Walking across, and there's sort of smoke billowing, and you're like, oh, an emotional moment.
But it's not emotional because Shaq is giving you anything. It's emotional because of the scene that they set. Like it's all. Yeah.
And it's like if you could just do a bunch of scenes like this that actually made some coherent thing, you might have a movie here.
Yeah, maybe.
And then Shaq says, Max, you're my only friend, and I wasn't there. And then Kazaam gets his wish, and the kid's alive, and they start kissing.
Wait, who starts kissing?
Shaq kisses Max a bunch of times.
I don't even remember that. This is the third thing I don't like in this movie. Hold on. So this is the point.
Goes out in Tony's director's cut.
Okay, so this is where I would like to take a moment and talk about the rules. So, is Max dead? Let's start there. Did Max die in the chute and Shaq just bring him back to life?
I believe so.
So can't do that. He's not allowed to do that. He said it earlier. He cannot do that. Number one. Number two, if Max is dead, is that why Malik was able to like start controlling the genie for a second? Because he was like disappearing back into the boombox. If you remember that. Now, is that because Max's power over him is gone, and so now Malik can become the new master?
Well, so he must not have been dead at that point. Well, yeah.
I'm confused about that as well. And then, no, sorry, yeah.
Because he did already use his third wish, so the boombox should just be up for, any comers.
Theoretically, right?
Yeah.
Very confusing. And now the last thing I'd like to say is that Shaq somehow stops Malik from taking control over him.
Yeah.
He's disappearing. He screams, because Shaq screams a lot in this movie. Ah! And then all of a sudden he's full in control of his body. How does that work, Dan? That doesn't make any sense. How can he take control? He's a slave to whatever it controls the lamp. Those are the rules. He can't just stop those rules. And then the last thing. He turns himself into a djinn.
Yeah.
What does that even... He says djinn don't even exist earlier in the movie.
Well,
how does any of this make sense? That's it.
Tony playing the role of Dad Goodsell, one Academy Award coming your way, or an Emmy or Webby. Tony's playing
Webby Award. That's right. I'll start crying soon. I can't do it.
Could you cry? Can you cry on command?
No, it takes I can work into it, but I can't just turn it on and off like a faucet. You know who I bet can? Sue Kate.
Oh, yeah, she totally can.
I bet she's got a button. Just flips it.
Yeah, I'm sure she does. It's a complex mind in that Sue Kate.
You make it seem like she's suspicious. She's a little shifty.
She's very shifty. She just don't let her walk behind you.
I never would. I keep my backs to all walls so no one can ever cross behind me. So how does he become a djinn?
I
don't get it.
The whole idea is they don't really spell it out. They kind of hint around it, is that he does a selfless thing, right? The idea is the genie has to do like a selfless thing. That's my assumption.
Is that bringing back the kid to life? Which is something that he doesn't believe he can even do because it's against his own rules.
Yeah. So,
and also, was it selfless, or was it because he's like, oh shit, I was busy rapping while my master got murdered and I'm a bad genie and I gotta fix this? I don't know.
The emotional and rules components don't work at all in any of this stuff.
Yeah.
You'd have to really craft the whole thing. But, the idea is Max needed to give a selfless wish when he needed to give a wish. So what should have happened is Max's dad should have died. And then Max...
He used his wish for that.
No. He should have used his wish to free Kazaam.
Yes. That's what should have happened.
And in doing that, he, so Max would have had to have something that he wanted so much, but he realized that the thing to do was to give Kazaam his freedom from his infinite torment, even though maybe that bring his dad back to life, but he's like, I can give you that wish, for your dad's second chance, and he's like, no, Kazaam, I wish for you, because he was a dick.
But you know why they couldn't do that, right?
No.
That's Aladdin. You just described the end of Aladdin.
Oh, is that what happens in Aladdin? Yeah.
And it's beautiful, Dan.
And who's he trying to save?
Aladdin, the whole crux of the movie is Aladdin has to pretend he's a prince so he can marry Jasmine. Yada yada, big battle. At the end, Genie's like, say the word and I'll make you a prince. And then Aladdin's like, Genie, I wish for your freedom. He's like, one bona fide prince coming up. What? And then there's like tears and I cry. And then he's like, I'm free. Oh, it's so good, man.
And there you go. It's like, I don't even know what the plot. I mean, I saw Aladdin one time, like I said.
Yeah.
And I would, so I don't have that plot in my mind, but you know what the plot needs to be. You have to do something selfless. And then by doing that selfless 100%. Thing, you find out, I'm sure he found out that he actually was a prince, or Jasmine loved him because of that, or, she'd love a schlub like him, whatever.
Whoa, Dan.
So he turns into gold, and he's free, and everyone's happy, and the fireman boyfriend saves Max, and they go outside, and everybody's there, and the dad's...
Again, this stepdad is the coolest guy in the world. He literally comes into a fire and catches you.
Now, did you know he was going to save the kid when we knew he was a fire department guy at the beginning?
I didn't, Dan. I didn't even see it coming. And when it happened, I was like, oh, shit. Yeah. He saved him. Beautiful. Yeah. Great moment.
And the dad stumbles out and he apologizes for being an asshole and says, I'm going to jail. Afterwards, I'm not going to be such an asshole. And
yeah, we'll see.
Then Shaq, Kazaam makes Max some hot cocoa. And that's the end of the movie.
No, Dan. He does not make him hot cocoa.
Yeah, it's hot
he
cocoa.
Makes him, hold on. He makes him and I quote, a nice hot. Oh, hold on. Let me try that again. A nice hot cup of chocolate. He doesn't make him hot chocolate. It's a hot cup of chocolate, which means he just melted chocolate. It's totally different than hot chocolate. It's a hot cup of chocolate, which means there's just a bunch of chocolate. You throw it in a cup and then you heat it up and it's just softer. It's just softer chocolate. It's not a drink.
That sounds good.
It does sound good. You're right about that, but it's not a drink. And they put a drink. It infuriated me. I don't know. I had to rewind it. And I was like, what the fuck did he just say? A hot cup of chocolate? That's not what it's called. My wife thought I was crazy too, Dan. Thank you. Thanks for that.
You've been working way too hard, Tony. I mean, I was worried about you, but now I'm really worried about you.
I'm spitting off this planet, man. I don't know what's going on anymore. Anyhow, Shaq ends up with the girl, and I thought that was a fun touch. It was
the same girl, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's her. And she's like, "You're gonna live your entire life with me and get old." And I was like, "Whoa, Shaq, get out!"
Did she say that at the end?
She said that at the end when they're walking away, and he turns back and is like, "It was a good moment." It's probably the best acting from Shaq of the entire film. Was his last panic look.
Because that's every man in the world. They know that feeling when the woman says...
I mean, this poor genie just got his freedom, and now he's got a ball and chain wrapping him up. Forever.
So, yes, I picked the movies that I meant for Tony to enjoy, and Tony did not enjoy it because it was too much fun.
I'm bummed. Is that what it was? Shaq. It was too much fun.
He's like, I'm a Minnesota boy, and I cannot love Shaq because of all the championships that Shaq has brought to Los Angeles.
The Lakers, who were originally from Minneapolis.
Yeah,
bullshit.
So you should count those as your wins.
Wrong, Dan. They stole the team. The team left us. They abandoned us. Left us with the Timberwolves, who I love.
Anything else to say about Kazaam?
I honestly think that there's a fun movie in there.
There is.
And I just wish that we would have seen it. Yeah. But, whatever. I think the kid's great. I liked him. He's a dick, but, I liked him.
And I mean, that's true. It's not like Artemis Fowl where you wanted to literally, you wanted to punch him in the face at all times. You're like, he's kind of a dick, but, so are most kids.
Yes. So true. So true, Dan.
So with this next month, which will be the month of, I don't know, March?
Is that March? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
It's got to be.
Maybe our schedule's off. I don't know anymore.
I have no idea when we are in the world, but it's fine.
Yeah, because we're going to have four of these. These four are going to be February, month of love, which turned into the month of hate. So then we're going to do video game movies. right, Tony?
Yes. Woo!
But first, we're going to talk about something we like. And Tony, you have one.
That's right.
You have one queued up, right? You have a video game movie queued up for next week.
Oh yeah, big time, Dan.
Okay, go. And then we get to mine in a week after that.
I'm so excited what yours is because you're giddy about it.
Just giddy. Yeah, I think I've picked both of mine. So we talk about something we like during the week, and Tony gets to go first.
So
if you had any time to watch anything this week,
what I'm gonna say is gonna sound like I don't recommend it, but I do recommend it. Keegan Michael Key. Did I say that right? Yeah. I always mess up his name. He has a new Audible podcast out called The History of Sketch Comedy.
Oh, wow.
Which is full of very, very smart insights about comedy and like ways to break down comedy and where all of the tropes come from. Very interesting. But it's also mixed half in with some of the most obnoxious comedy in the world, where the only way to ruin like a really great bit that you saw is to then tell your friends about the bit and kind of reenact it in your own way. And he does that with like classic bits, and I hate it. Like I viscerally get angry. I'm like, oh fuck, stop talking. But then he gets back to like the theory and the application, and that's wonderful. So it's it's half 50%. Amazing, half dreadful. Yeah.
Wow.
But it's worth it. It's worth it. It's very interesting.
Very good. I'm going to actually talk about something people might be interested in actually watching or in doing. It's a new movie on Netflix called The Dig, which is a very dry movie. Okay. Not for everybody because it's pretty dry, and it's just about an excavator in 1938 or 39 who excavates a burial mound in England on this woman's estate. And so it kind of deals with archaeology and sort of, this guy's sort of a lower class guy, and he's sort of having to interact with the real museum people who are sort of snobby. And then there's like this couple other plot lines they throw in there, which are not necessarily things that really happen, but it's all based on true story. And it's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool. And it's like Ray Fiennes and some other people.
He's always good.
Carey Mulligan? Yeah, I think that's the woman. So, if you're on Netflix and you want to spend 2 hours, it wasn't boring to me, but it's not Tony Paste. It's not Tony Paste at all.
But it's not Fantastic Planet, right? No. It's somewhere in between those two. All right. Yeah. Then I'm in. Yeah. That's good.
So, what do you got for us for Video Game Month?
The problem with Video Game Month, Dan, it's not a problem. It's the opposite of a problem. There's so much to choose from because almost all of them are just train crashes. Like they're all so bad. So in the first week,
is there a good one?
I would argue yes, but let's wait till the end of the month because just in case you pick it, because I not everyone agrees with me. I'm
not going to pick it. The things I'm picking.
Well, the perfect, and I mean, I literally think this movie's perfect.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat is,
the first one.
Oh God, yeah. Annihilation's terrible. Mortal Kombat Annihilation is a video game movie. It's dreadful. But the first Mortal Kombat it's cheesy, it's fun, it's faithful, and it's great. I love it. I would argue that's, I think, the best video game adaptation ever made.
For some reason, I saw that movie in the theaters, and I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of, it's fun. It's just a fun movie that doesn't take itself over seriously and just sort of deals with all the characters and their silly outfits. And I did watch the second one, I think, and it wasn't nearly as fun. It's
not. It's a huge miss, which is fine. I still watch it. I won't lie to you, but the first one's great.
Pretty terrifying that this is your high bar standard.
That's the bar, right? So be ready for that, Dan. On that same page, this game is very similar to Mortal Kombat, and the movie is not very similar, but I genuinely love this movie, even though I know it's probably one of the worst movies ever made. And this movie is Jean-Claude Van Damme pretending to be like an all-American boy with the thickest Brussels accent you've ever heard in your life.
Yes.
Street Fighter, the movie. That's what we're watching.
Okay, I have not seen this one.
Oh, Dan, I'm so excited. This thrills me. I love this movie, so I'm going to spend a lot of time next week defending it, but I also know that it's not good. It's not a good movie.
I love Jean-Claude Van Damme. Maybe not as much as I love Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal, we're going to maybe have to do Steven Seagal
He's
month.
the king. Dan, immediately. I would do that in a heartbeat.
I love Steven Seagal. I love the one where he's on the boat.
Under Siege?
Oh, so good. So good.
Classic.
He's so terrible in such a good way.
That's my Steven Seagal impression.
My one joke is on the whole stupid Trump thing. Everybody always says no one is above the law, and I'm always like, Steven Seagal's above the law.
Steven Seagal is, you idiots.
Sorry, Steven Seagal is above the law.
Dan, I wish you would tweet that every time somebody tweets above the law.
Sorry, Steven Seagal is above the law. That's true. I should have probably started that like
That'd have been amazing.
4 years ago.
Yeah, well, you missed it.
So Street Fighter the movie, gonna get the muscles from Brussels, some kicking, punching in.
Yeah, this is exciting stuff for me.
I think
I'm ready.
The right place to start video game month. I'm actually very excited.
The kids are gonna love it. I'll tell you that.
Kids are gonna love it. So this has been Hate Watching. If you like what you see, chances are you got here from some random recommendation on YouTube, and you never made it to the end. Leave us a like, leave us a thank you, leave us a donation. We don't have a Patreon, but if you really want us to make one,
a donation,
we'll think about it.
Just put $5 in the comment section, and we'll find a way to get it.
Glue $5 to your computer. We'll get it.
I'll do a door service. I'll come pick it up. You just let me know your address. I'll come get you $5. I'll bring it home.
I had to fly to Minneapolis, but I got the $5.
But I got $5.
$700 ticket. So we'll be back next week with more comments, reviews, and casual banter about Tony's life as a bully and Tony's life as a clothes horse for his sister.
Clothes horse? Never heard that phrase before.
I've used that phrase before.
Goodbye, everybody.
See you later.
Hey, watching with Dan and Tony.